What do you think the best way for someone to learn the trades is?
But, those old gray-haired guys, they let you know real quick how to do it.
Don't pay that. No, I like that because that's how I learned. But getting out and learning it, hands-on, some old man leaning over your shoulder yelling at you.
Yes.
It works. It really does work. I'd be doing something, and I'd think back, I remember Austin teaching me how to do this, or something like that, because we learn different things and how to do different things from different people. And they teach us how to feed our families, how to make a living.
Exactly. And if you actually, that's the thing that I would like for a lot of young people to know. If you just do what that old guy tells you to do, he's going to teach you the world.
You bet.
He's going to show you everything that you need. Just shut your mouth and listen.
And I love that, because that's something that I talk about all the time is respect these mentors. Because this person, I've been doing this 44 years. I've learned a lot along the way, as you have. And I see these kids that get in, they've been in it 2 years. They've got their tradesman's license, and they think they know everything there is to know. And I'm just like, dude, somebody needs to just slap you and remind you there's a big difference in 2 years experience and 40 years experience.
Yes.
But they don't see that. They're like, dude, look, I got a license. I'm good. I know everything. No, you don't.
You don't. You haven't seen the world.
It's interesting, the things that we learn. The thing is, we remember it when we need it.
Yes.
We were taught some great tips and tricks.
And what's scary is that, are we still in the trade teaching those tricks? Or is that going to die with that generation? Are these young kids learning that? Are these young guys coming into the trade being taught addict?
And the problem, I think, with some of these kids today, and when I say kids, I mean 18 to 40, I don't care. To me, they're still kids. And there's a lot of them out there, you try to teach something like that, and they're just like, that's stupid. It may work, but they're like, man, that's stupid. I would never do that.
Those tricks come into play at some point in time, because the overall goal is to make it home.
You bet.
To make as much money as you can and to go home at a decent hour. Man, I've been on rooftops at 1 o'clock in the morning. I've been under houses at 2 o'clock in the morning, and you don't want to be there.
Another one that I learned from an older plumber. I installed a water heater, and I worked for a company that we collect right then. There's no billing. There's no, hey, we'll call you tomorrow and get the money. I'm leaving. I need to be paid. So I installed a water heater, and I've learned always leave my tools in there. Go back, fill out the invoice, bring it in, go ahead and collect, then roll up your tools and leave. So I did that, had all my tools back there by the water heater, come back in, I'm like, hey, here's the invoice I need to collect. He said, yeah. He said, look, there's going to be a problem with that. He says, I might have to pay y'all next week. And it's like, wait, they told you before I came out that I would collect today. Okay. So I said, well, you hold on to that. And I go back there and, man, I start rattling tools around, start banging things around. I pull my dolly and position it under the water heater. And said, I hollered at him, said, hey, just gonna let you know, I'll be out of here in just a few minutes. He comes around the corner here, all this noise. He's like, so what are you doing? I said, well, I'm taking the water heater out.
Be back next week.
He says, what do you mean you're taking it out? I said, if you're not paying for it, I can't leave it. And he said, well, if you take it out, I'm going to call the police. I said, that's a good idea. And he's like, give me just a minute. And he goes in there and gets on the dial-up phone. And he says, hey, my son's coming over. He's going to bring you a check.
Yeah.
So, okay. And they will pay you. They want that hot water.
They will. They will definitely cut that check if you say you're going to leave it.
It is crazy.
And that's one thing that Tommy taught me is it's a real simple saying. And I didn't learn it till later on in my career. If it's made by man, it can be fixed. If it's made by God, that's a different story. I wish I would have learned that earlier, because I was the guy that oh no, it's going to get fixed today. It'll still be there tomorrow. it'll still be there the next day. You don't have to be out till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. It's cool. You can go home, you know?
Yeah, God, I love that.